Once again, I'm bored, so I'm going to stream and sing live. I was laying in bed hoping I would go to sleep and my brain wouldn't turn off. I know about 4 hours before I went to bed, I said, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to sing some karaoke on that SingSnap site that I did some karaoke from. And I said, no, I'm going to play a video game. And I did. And I accomplished something in the video game and I said, good. That means it's bedtime. You're doing fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. Stupid conversation anyway. So it didn't work. And I'm not going to do karaoke. Instead, I've got an audition where I have to sing some art songs on Monday, I think, sometime in the afternoon. And I picked out an art song from here, and I'm like, you know what? It's been a long time since I sang some arias. So I'm just going to review most of what's in this book. I've done about half of these over the years. And the rest of them, it's time. I just went through them and see how far I can get on the ones I don't know. And show off or embarrass myself, whichever one it is for you. These are all Italian, so if you're Italian, it's clearly embarrass yourself. If you are a classically trained singer who has had lessons in the last ever, I'm embarrassing myself. If you've never had lessons, you might be impressed. Some of these were good sort of once. I studied some of them in university and earned, 80s-ish as a voice student. I never finished the degree. I'm a computer scientist. So we're going to start off with my 3-time audition piece, which I quite like. And these are largely expressions of love or of longing. Some of them are others, but this one here is Amarilli, mia bella. Amaryllis, my dear one, where a person proclaims their true and deep and abiding love for Amaryllis and says, if you were to take that arrow and cut open my chest and tear it open, upon my heart you would see inscribed, Amaryllis is my one true love. Amarilli, mia bella, non credi del mio cor, dolce desio d'esser tu l'amor mio. Credilo pur, e se ti morta sale, prendi questo mio strale, aprimi il petto e vedrai scritto il cuore. Amarini, 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 il mio amore. Credilo pur, e se ti morda sale, prendi questo mio strale, aprimi il petto e vedrai scritto il cuore. Amarini, 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 il mio amore. Amarini, il mio amore. All right. And of course, because these are recorded off of a CD that was supplied with the book, they are the most basic of accompaniments, and they wait not for me, and I don't know them that well. I have usually performed these either with a desperately struggling choir director who is used to more waving their hands than to accompanying on piano, although some of my choir directors have been accomplished pianists and it was no trouble at all for them. Or I have hired somebody to accompany me. So, yeah. This next one is Lasciatemi morire. O soul, I long to perish. And I don't think I've ever studied this, although this is more my flavor of love song. Let me die. And I love it when the English translations don't make sense. Let me die, it says in English. And what do wish you that me should comfort in such hard fate, in such great martyrdom? The poetic idea from the book, according to this, is this is from Ariana by Claudio Monteverdi. I cannot live without my beloved. Nothing you do can comfort me. That's the far easier to understand one. The person who sings this is Ariadne, or Ariana in Italian, the daughter of King Minos of Crete. Ariadne helped a foreign hostage, Theseus, to escape from death in the labyrinth. Theseus took Ariadne to the island of Naxos, where he deserted her. Her grief is expressed in a long scene which begins with the brief section given here. In the end, Ariadne did not die. The god Dionysus married her and took her to live with the gods. So, happy ending. If I am Ariadne, little gender bend there, I have not had my god Dionysus. I usually express that in the reverse way. Neil Gaiman wrote is it Starfall? Is that the name of the one? It was made into a movie. Lovely movie. A story where the lead character thinks he's in love with somebody and she rebuffs him for an older man and goes and finds a fallen star to chain up and drag along with him. Eventually sort of falls in love with them. And then he comes back and realizes, no, he's not actually in love with the person he thought he was in love with. Anyhow, at the end of that book, several years later, Neil Gaiman reveals that he found his own fallen star to fall in love with him, and life was well with him. I'm waiting for my fallen star. Lasciatemi morire. And I have no clue how this goes. It'll be a first shot. I should be able to sight read this, but my sight reading is gone. Wow. It does not wait. It just launches straight into it. The other one gave me a count-in. I think is how I start. Lasciatemi morire. Lasciatemi morire. E che volete voi che mi conforte in cose dura sorte. Oh, sorry. In così marire. Lasciatemi morire. I'm lost. I love being lost. I don't know if you'll indulge me if I try that one a second time, now that I sort of know how it flows. Oh, I'm back on Amarili. Wow. Lasciatemi morire. Lasciatemi morire. E che vole. Nope, I don't know the timing well enough. And sight reading against something where I can't get the timing is not going to work. So we're going to move on to the next one. Again, I don't know Vittorio mio core, and I can see that there's segnos and codas, and it goes on for pages. So we're moving on that one. Che fiero costume, though, which is piece number 4 in here. I do know. This is a song about love. Once again, what an awful custom it is that the love has such power that a winged baby god can just overcome you. The poetic idea as expressed here is, I am amazed at the power of love, whom others have described as just a blind baby boy. What a fierce custom of a winged god, who by force of punishments himself should make adored. And nevertheless, in my ardor, the god traitorous, a lovely face me made to worship. So it goes on a little longer than the poetic idea. This is by Giovanni Lagrenzi. It's a cantata found in the Ecce di Riverenza. Let's see if I can still make it through this. This is a tongue twister. If it was all on one note, it would be a patter song. Just, a rush of feeling. A torrent. And I might have to go back again because this might just launch in. Okay. Nope, wrong piece. Okay. And just go straight in. Che fiero costume da leggero nome, che forza di pene si faccia adorar, che forza di pene si faccia adorar. E pur nell'altore il Dio traditore, un vago sembiante mi fedo ladrar. Un vago sembiante mi fedo ladrar. Che fiero costume da leggero nome, che a forza di pene si faccia adorar, mi faccia adorar. Che forza di pene si faccia adorar. Che crudo destino che un cieco bambino con bocca di latte si faccia stimar, con bocca di latte si faccia stimar. Ma questo tiranno con barba rognando, entrando per gli occhi mi fe sospirar. Entrando per gli occhi mi fe sospirar. Che crudo destino con cieco bambino, con bocca di latte si faccia stimar, si faccia stimar. Con bocca di latte si faccia stimar. So, welcome. If you've just joined me, what I'm doing is I could not sleep and I wanted to sing karaoke, and I'm doing not karaoke. Instead, I'm really kind of desperately hoping that you can hear my music and that you can hear me singing, and that what you're hearing is me singing Italian arias and art songs. I have an audition coming up on Monday, and I have worked through one of these pieces. I haven't reached it yet. In a Monday audition, it's one I did 21 years ago. Many of these I learned before that. That would be the last one I learned from the book. I just finished singing, Che fiero costume by Giovanni Lagrenzi. And up next in the book is Tu lo sai. You know full well how much I love you. Remember that. I really, really loved you. Oh, songs about love and about heartbreak. Maybe I should sing this one, except it's really awkward when you are literally exactly the same age as the choir director that you're auditioning for. You're both single, and you don't want to express that you love them. Not really, but you still want to do a good job. This is not the one I'm doing. This one's in C, which means it's guaranteed to go out of tune. Or is it in A minor? It's in A minor, I'm almost positive. I have not ever practiced this. No, it ends on a C, so it must be in C, right? That's how music works. Yeah, it looks like it ends with a C major chord. So this is in C, which means I am starting on the root. Let's see what kind of a lead-in I've got. No, that's the other song. Okay, so that one counts in. The first one did. Nothing up until now. This is the fifth song, had a count in, and it even tells me my notes. So that's very nice of them. I guess it's because you have to sing from beat 1, and all the other ones you get like part of a beat. Part of a beat. Oh, so generous. Thank you. Quanto t'amai, tu lo sai crudel, lo non bramo altra merce, ma ricordati di me. E poi sprezza un infedel, e poi sprezza infedel. Tu lo sai quanto t'amai, tu lo sai crudel, tu lo sai quando t'amai, tu lo sai crudel, tu lo sai quando t'amai, tu sai crudel. Nothing like sight reading in C when you've actually identified the key before you get going. And that one had a fairly predictable accompaniment. I missed a few things. I know. I used to know this next one. Già il sole dal Gange, the sun from the Orient. I didn't realize that Gange and Orient were the same things. I now think I know what Ganges means, or at least a little bit. This is How Happy the Whole World Is at Sunrise. The person singing is Saldino, page boy, in the opera Honesty in Love Affairs. He's alone on stage admiring the sunrise. The scene is Algeria in North Africa. Dal Gange is merely a figure of speech, meaning the East. Now, the Italian name of the opera is L'Onesta negli Amori by Alessandro Scarlatti. And again, if there is an Italian viewer of this, please forgive me. I've studied French, and I have sung some Italian, and I have sung some German with a very bad French accent, and that's about as far as it went. Every time I did a jury, it was like, learn a language other than French, please. I should take that as a slight against my ability to speak my native tongue, I suppose, because I did have English art songs in my sets. I just need a moment to think about how this goes, because I do believe it launches quite quickly. It's at 138 to 160. The key is E flat, and it starts with a 5-1 for me after 2 beats, so I probably get nothing other than just a straight into the piece. I think that's what we heard. So, Già il sole dal Gange by Alessandro Scarlatti. Alessandro and I share a name. I am Alexander Clark. già il sole dal Gange, già il sole, già il sole dal Gange, più chiaro sa villa, più chiaro sa villa, e perde ogni stilla dell'alma che piange. Già il sole dal Gange, già il sole dal Gange, più chiaro sa villa, più chiaro villa. Now, I am singing against the CD that came with the book that I have almost never, ever broken out. I always work with an accompanist, and the accompanist, of course, humors me and my interpretation of the pieces. And so sometimes this just plows on when I'm still trying to think of how do I do this again? I explained earlier what exactly it is that I am doing. I am singing from 26 Italian songs and arias, which was expected of every first-year voice major, and 1 year is all I ever took at my local university. And I'm sure that many of you who sing classical music are familiar with most of these art songs, more so than I am. Couldn't sleep tonight. I wanted to do karaoke, and instead I played a video game, and lying in my bed, all I could think of was, I can't stop thinking about love unless I sing about love. Listening to love songs was not enough. And I can't sing the pop love songs that I listen to because they're by an indie artist, and you're not going to find karaoke of indie artists. They can't afford people to do that. So here I am doing my own thing. I just finished singing Già il sole dal Gange. I don't speak Italian, so everything comes out sounding sort of foreign-ish, French for me, when I'm not thinking too hard. The next piece in this book is O cessate di piagarmi. Another one by Alessandro Scarlatti. Please stop being so hard on me. You do not show me love, but you could do so if you wanted to. This would be somebody who is pursuing somebody, probably hasn't lost them, pursuing somebody, and don't feel that love is being reciprocated. I am both in this situation, was recently in the situation on one end, and was a recipient of the situation on the other end. I was not going to return said love. But I needed friends, so life is complicated. And I did learn this song once upon a time, a long time ago. Let's see how well I remember it. This one also goes along at a nice clip, probably hitting about 158 eighth notes, or 150 eighth notes per second, and it's in 6/8. So, something like that. We'll see how that goes. And this is in the key of... Come on, brain. You can do this. That would be in the key of G if it was in G. Is it in G? No, this is minor. And you knew that. You knew that this was a sad song. So it's in the key of E, and it opens with a B major chord, which is what was fooling my brain. All right. My first chord, though, is the in key E minor. Nobody cares. You're just learning how bad I am at music theory. Luckily, you don't have to listen to me sight read again. Ooh, I have somebody who has joined me. Welcome aboard. I'm just doing karaoke to songs from this book, which I've explained between every other song or so. cessate di piagarmi, oh lasciatemi morir, oh lasciatemi morir. Luci ingrate dispietate, luci ingrate dispietate, più di gelo e più di marmi, fredde sorde a miei martir, fredde sorte miei martir. Oh, cessate di piagarmi, oh, lasciatemi morir, oh, lasciatemi morir. And I scared them away. The weird old man. Oh, does this not do the repeat? Oh, how unfortunate for everybody. No ritornello. Our next piece is Sento nel cuore, a third song in a row by Alessandro Scarlatti. Something is bothering me. Maybe I'm falling in love. And it's been a while since I actually reviewed this. I'm just going to go through the English translation of the words here because this probably is describing that feeling that many of us have had of being on the edge of realizing that we're in love with somebody. You've been hanging out with them. You've been thinking about them. You've been thinking about them. But it's still just, it's fun. And then your heart pounds. Almost like you're having an anxiety attack and you realize you're on the edge of something more, some need to commit more deeply. And you don't know if you're afraid, excited, or what. And then you realize, no, I'm probably in love. The English translation reads roughly, I feel in my heart, sento nel cuore, a certain pain, certo dolore, which my peace, che la mia pace, disturbing goes, turbando va. There shines a torch, splenda una face, which the soul inflames, che l'alma accende. If not it is love, se non è amore, love it will be. Amor sarà. If it's not love yet, I think it's going to become it. So, Sento nel cuore. Another one I'm pretty sure I studied at one point, although this one probably goes back 25 or 6 years. We'll see how I get through it. I can't promise I've never reviewed it in the meantime, but hardly any. I'm preparing for an audition on Monday. I did look at this one for all of the first page before rejecting it, saying, no, I don't want to tell my same-age choir director that I'm falling in love with them. Sento nel cuore certo dolore, che la mia pace turbando va. Nel cuore, sento nel cuore certo dolore, certo dolore, che la mia pace turbando va, che la mia pace
pace che l'alma accende, se non è amore, amor sarà, amor sarà. Splende una pace che l'alma accende, se non è amore, amor sarà. Se non amor sarà.
I missed the page turn. Sorry.
Sento nel cuore certo dolore, certo dolore, che la mia pace turbando va. Nel cuore, sento nel cuore certo dolore, certo dolore, che la mia pace turbando va, che l'alma pace turbando va.
This is yet another example of you should probably read the songs at least once before performing them live, but I'm in a very exhibitionist mood. Taking advantage of the fact that nobody can see me from the waist down, too, because it's the middle of the night, and who cares? I'm not getting dressed. I'm gonna go straight into this one because it's a load of fun. This is La Violette by Alessandro Scarlatti again. Of course, the whole book must be by this guy.
Rugiadose odorose, rugiadose odorose, violette graziose, violette graziose, voi vi state vergognose, mezzo a cose fra le foglie, e sgridate le mie voglie, che son troppo ambisiose, e sgridate le mie voglie, che son troppo ambisiose. Rugiadose odorose, violette graziose, rugiadose odorose, violette graziose, violette graziose.
I forgot. I have actually sung this against that karaoke track in a karaoke competition online at the Sing Snap site that was in my last video. So that was a nice surprise when it started, and I knew exactly what to do, more or less. But it's been 11 years since I did that. So the memory's a funny thing. When you prepare something, sometimes it just doesn't go away. Other times, it sure does. So I didn't introduce this before I went in, other than to say the title was Le Violette. Le Violette. Italian, not French, Alex. This is, again, by Alessandro Scarlatti. It's from Pirro e Demetrio. Have you tiny violet's been put here as a message for me. Am I aiming too high in loving such a wonderful person? The person who sings this is a youth named Mario in the opera Pyrrhus and Demetrius. He is alone in a garden thinking about his love for a woman who is nobly born. And there's a sentiment that I can appreciate, so I need to learn where the words are. I know the song well enough, but the idea, the notion wasn't there for me because I was married, and although I should probably have wondered, not being married anymore at the time, if in fact I had aimed too high and had married too high. I'm unfortunately not married anymore. As I've alluded to earlier in the stream, I'm currently between things, and someday, maybe. For now, nothing. Rugiadose. Apparently, dewy. Odorose. Not stinky, but fragrant. Violette graziose. Violets, so graceful. Voi vi state. There you stand. Or, I think I see you standing there. Vergognose. Modest. Mezzo accose. Half-hidden. Fra le foglie. Among the leaves. E sgridate. And you rebuke. Le mie voglie. My desires. Che son troppo ambiziose. Which are too ambitious. So, there we go. There's a fun one. One I need to remember and come back to again more often because I do like it. It's a fun one. It's easy enough for a poor little, mostly untrained singer like me to do. Le Florinda e Fedele. Do I Dare? This is another one that is in G, I think. Is this in G? No. Yes? No. This one is in F. This one's in F. F major. Another Alessandro Scarlatti. I've sung so much Scarlatti now that I should just have Scarlatti in the veins, and I should be able to sight read anything that the fella has ever written. I'm going to, of course, ignore vocal ornamentation if I do attempt to sight read this thing. All right, well, we'll see how it goes. Are there any surprise repeats? No, and it's not. It's a longer one. Which is probably why I never tackled it, because I've got very little patience. A little ADD. No, that's the one I just did. No, if you have to suffer through me doing that, that's no good. I might come back and learn that one. Star vicino, to be near one's beloved. I love being near you. I hate being away from you. I was on the verge of that right before lockdown began. A hopeless case, unfortunately, but I was reminded of how much I did like being near a certain someone, and now there's no hope. No hope at all that I can come anywhere near that person. I don't think they know about my YouTube channel, and heaven forbid they ever find out or figure out, if they do come here, who it is I'm talking about. Star vicino. And I do remember being rebuked for how badly I did this by one Philip May in 1994 when I was very new to the whole singing thing. So we'll see how this goes. It's short. It's straightforward. There's hardly any there's hardly any extra vocal ornamentation indicated, and I probably would ignore it anyhow. Here we go. Star vicino by composer unknown from, well, if he's unknown, I don't know. Stuff. It's from a General History of Music. Nope, that's the last song. Here we go.
star vicino all'amore. Okay. Star vicino al bell'idol che s'ama
is the opening line, and now that I know it launches in, I'm ready for it. It does give me my note right off. I should be smart enough to do this, but I don't even know the tempo, so.
Star vicino al bell'idol che s'ama e il più vago diletto d'amor, il più vago diletto d'amor. Starlo bene chi brama ed amor il più vivo dolor ed amore ed amor il più vivo dolor ed amor ed amore il più vivo dolor.
Wow, my short-term memory is gone. This is, in fact, the song that I wanted to prepare for Monday. I should do it again now that I've heard the accompaniment. And practice those vocal ornamentations, because this is the accompaniment that I'm afraid I will have to use. Now, I think possibly when I do my audition, the choir director will have us do like collaborative audio software so that we can interact in real time, and she might be able to accompany me. We'll see how that goes. But I have found this CD, and I am karaokeing pieces for the explicit and specific purpose of having an accompaniment available to me if she will let me use one. I actually, for this, would probably be happier just singing it a cappella, or Acapulco, as my first voice teacher loved to say in choir with the old men who thought that that was terribly amusing. And now I'm old, so I get to think it's terribly amusing to sing to Acapulco. Ha 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 ha. You kill me. All right, so now that I'm not utterly lost and not remembering what the song is, Star vicino. See if I can remember the decorations I wanted. Nope. What piece am I on? That's track 12. Nope. There's Star vicino.
Star vicino al bell'idol che s'ama il più vago diletto d'amor il più vago diletto d'amor.
Okay, you get to hear me practicing.
Amor.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Star lontano.
Okay.
Star lontano dal ben che si brama. Star lontano dal ben che si brama.
Is what that is. It's supposed to be mezzo piano. There's no indication, by the way, of the dynamic for the opening bit. I think it should be nicely stated at a comfortable mezzo forte, probably. We'll introduce it, and then we'll slowly fade away. It does go mezzo piano, and then piano for the end. To as we express the deep pain of being separated from the one you love. All right.
Star lontano dal ben che si brama, ed amore il più vivo dolor, ed amore il più vivo dolor, ed
So the planned ending I had there doesn't work. Not that it doesn't work with the accompaniment, but not at the pace of this accompaniment. So bar 42 will just have to be, I want it simple. I want it simple. That is got to be another O cessate di pur dicesti o bocca bella. I should have read the translations when I was being asked to sing these things. I had fallen in love and was planning to be married when I was asked to sing this by my last full-time voice coach. Pur dicesti o bocca bella. That's the next song. We'll get into that when we get there. I'm like, I know that one. I know Pur dicesti. We'll see how well I know and remember Pur dicesti, which I did do in concert. Probably accompanied by Sarah Kidd, who I go to church with now. And did at the time, too. She was also recently engaged to be married to a person who's I'm still going to church with. Small world. Because I've moved and was not in the same congregation as them after we were married. Fun times. Where was I at? I was going to redo the very end of Star Vicino. The triplets, but I don't want the extra decoration I thought I wanted. I really want to do something different there, and it just plows through it. Those words are... when you are separated from the one that you love, you suffer the deepest pain. And it just goes, boop, 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 boop. I want to cry vocally there. And that's what I was doing. I might have to just give up the accompaniment.
Ed amore più vivo dolor.
Just stretch it or something. I don't know. And it's supposed to be piano, so cry with a soft voice. Next piece is Pur dicesti o bocca bella. You have just said yes to my love after I kissed you, and I am so happy. This is an Antonio Lotti piece. Lotti sang as a choir boy under Legrenzi's direction at St. Mark's Cathedral in Venice. Later in life, he became the music director there. He also wrote about 30 operas, busy person, and many cantatas, but the origin of this aria is not known, so he maybe had a larger work that he discarded, or it was just he wrote it for his own pleasure. There is a segno, which I must remember probably. I don't know if it's in the accompaniment here. And this is more complex than most of the ones I have balked at, structure-wise. We'll see how we do. I'm approaching the 1 hour mark here, aren't I? My bit rate is higher than the recommended bit rate. They suggest I use a stream bit rate of 4,500 kilobits per second. Well, poo on you. I'm streaming at this rate. I will probably drop it down. Ba da 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 da. I don't have perfect pitch. Maybe forget this.
Pur digesti, o bocca bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, questa vedo il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Pur digesti, o bocca bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, quel soave caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, quel soave caro sì, quel tutto il mio piacer. Per onor di sua facella, con un bacio amor t'apri, con un bacio amor t'apri, dolce fonte del goder. Sì, del goder. Pur dicesti, o bocca bella, o bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Pur digesti, o bocca bella, o bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, quel soave caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer, quel soave caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer.
And we've reached the fin there. Ha! That wasn't so bad. I fully expected myself to crash and burn, but obviously I did not fully suppress that. Nor must I now despair. Non posso disperar. You have told me that you do not love me, but I cannot give up now. For 3 months. That was my song. I don't know this one. Pretty sure. This is number 13, lucky number 13 in the book, and this might be where I have to stop halfway through the 26 to do it another 13 some other day. The person who sings this song is King Romulus of Rome, who is in love with a Sabine noblewoman, Ericlea. Legend tells that when the early Romans had a shortage of women, they abducted the women from a neighboring tribe, the Sabines. Ericlea is one of these, and King Romulus hopes that she can learn to love him in spite of being his prisoner. So, yeah, Good luck with that, buddy. This is by Giovanni Bononcini. And it's in the key, again, of F, I think. It should be in the key of F, but it might be in the key of D minor. Yeah, looks like it's in D minor. And you have to start without the accompaniment, so that's an exciting one. I know I won't be able to sing through this. This will be a crash and burn if I attempt it, but here we go.
Non posso disperar. Non posso disperar. Non posso disperar.
Yep. I can't sight read that well anymore. There was a time when I could have done that. I get worse every year. Per la gloria d'adorarvi. For the sheer delight of loving. I will love you, even if I have no hope of your loving me in return. The person who sings the aria is Ernesto in the opera Griselda. This is another Giovanni Bononcini. And it says, please read about Bononcini in the notes of the preceding aria. I don't want to rewrite this stuff. This is actually from an opera, one of his 30, that we know about. This is from Griselda, the most popular opera of his career, and it was composed for London in 1722. Italian opera was in vogue, and Bononcini's operas outsold those of his competitor, the famous Handel. Now, this one is vaguely familiar to me. I'm not following the melody, but I know I've looked at this title many times at some point in my life. So maybe once the music goes, I'll know exactly what to do. It's in D major. And I can hear it, the melody of the first page in my head, and it's not ringing any bells. We'll see. Second semester repressed memory. Second semester of my first year of music, my grandmother died. No, she didn't die. She had a terrible stroke, and I was the one who was sent to find her lying on the floor of her apartment, and everything from that semester is a blur. And this was a jury piece from that year, and I'm not going to finish this. I'm just going to move on. Seben crudele, savage and heartless is your cruel scorn, by Antonio Caldara. And this will be the last one of the night. If I've had somebody else drop in, welcome aboard. If I haven't, whatever. I'm going to repeat what it is I'm doing here. This is the end of my stream. You should have heard me say this 3 or 4 times now. I couldn't sleep. I have an audition on Monday where I have to sing some kind of an art song or an aria. I'm going to do an aria from this book. It was in the stream. If you watch the whole thing, you'll figure out which one it was and just how badly it is that I know it right now. Hopefully it's good enough for Monday. This is for a chamber choir that will be rehearsing online. So I've got my little CD so I can accompany myself as I sing it for my choir director. She probably will be using real-time music collaboration software that we will probably be told to install the day before the audition. I haven't heard anything like that. I was just given a sign-up form. I've worked with this choir before. Maybe she will just waive the audition entirely. I was her collaborator for our virtual choir, 2 of them, over the summer. So she knows who I am. I've sung with her for 1.5 years, and I've been in this particular choir for a total of 17 years, I think. And choirs at this university, a total of 20 years. So I don't know what I'm fussing for. I should just open one that I know and sight read it while she struggles with the piano part more than I struggle with the vocal part. Except it's online, and I feel like I'm being recorded, so here I am being an exhibitionist. But the real reason I'm doing this at this ungodly hour of 2:40 a.m. local time is I went to go to sleep after having had a desire to sing karaoke because my heart was aching. And instead I played a video game, beat a level, and then went to sleep and tried to listen to love songs, and that just messed me up. So here I am. I'm singing away, and you get to benefit from this, or I will be tired enough to sleep after this. I took melatonin before I sat down here, and maybe you don't feel like I'm looking sleepy. I'm not feeling sleepy. Seben crudele, which I do know that I knew once upon a time. I will go on loving you until my persistence makes you love me. The singer is Aminta, a shepherd, who is puzzled by the unresponsive behavior of Sylvia, a shepherdess who used to love him. Sad, sad story. Too familiar.
Seben crudele mi failan queer. Seben crudele mi failan queer. Sempre fedele, ti voglio amar. Semen crudele mi fai languir, sempre fedele ti vol amar. Semen crudele mi fai languir, sempre fedele ti vol amar. Voglio amar.
It's been a while.
Con la lunghezza del mio servir, la tua fierezza salvezza.
I want a do-over on that line.
Sapro stankar.
There's a break, right? Not a very long one. I'm going to miss it. It's not going to get better. I'm lost. I just missed the line I tried to redo. It's fine.
Seben crudele mi fai languir, sempre fedele ti voglio amar.
I am butchering this. I have a memory, but it's not good enough to guide me.
Se ben crudele, se vai languir, sempre fedele ti voglio amar. Se ben crudele mi fai languir, sempre fedele ti voglio amar.
Well, I've tortured you enough with Italian art songs and arias. I will give up and go back over to SingSnap, which is a karaoke site online, to do my last song of the night. I will be singing to you from the repertoire of the wonderful group, the Barenaked, La Dies. And I'm singing a song simply because the very first line is, I'm learning. Or, because the title also is, thanks, that was fun. Thanks, YouTube, for letting me just be an exhibitionist even though I have no audience. And thank you, audience, if you happen to join me tonight, for joining me in just being a goof and doing a thing on the internet. I'm going to make this so that you can see it with me. Not two webcams, webcam and text. So this is my karaoke client, which I'm going to make, don't need a camera. I'm going to make full screen. There's my lyrics over there. That's where my camera would be. I'm going to give us a large lyrics. Can I not? Only when I'm playing. Well, thanks. I love you too. There's my large lyrics window. Right there. That's loud. I'm learning, I'm yearning, I'm burning all your stuff, but that's not enough. I'm thinking that I'm aching, mistaking lust for love. Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one, that I scare you when I dared you. I stared you in the eye and told you goodbye. You mocked me, it shocked me when you walked me to the bus. Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one made a deal not to feel. God, that's dumb. Everybody knows the deal fell through. I was hoping I could just blame you. When was it that I became so soft? The sentimentality doesn't look good on me. I thought that you would be begging to be with me. I'm the one on my knees blubbering, please let me stay. Deflated and jaded, I hate it when you call, which isn't at all unspoken, though broken, is a token of my love. that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets. Except maybe one made a deal not to feel. God, that was dumb. Don't forget, no regrets. Except maybe one made a deal not to feel. Thanks, that was fun. All right, one more proper karaoke here, guys. I tried to do Life on Mars by Bowie, but I couldn't just sing it, probably because it's part of the community songbook, and maybe I wasn't logged in and I was only doing free songs. I honestly don't know. So I'm going to be looking for some Life on Mars. See if that comes up. Yeah. And yes, it's all community songbook. Should I do the vintage jazz version? No, the answer is no. I'm going to do the 98% rated version right here. It says I'm pressing record. I'm not pressing record. Not really. I just want the record versions because that's how I get this. If I just play it, it's not available so much. Not so much. This is genuinely the last song I'm going to do, and I'm not the biggest Bowie fan. I do like some Bowie songs. This is me just liking Bowie songs at you. Just make sure that the stream is still going. Yes, it is. I'm bored, so I'm going to sing live a little bit longer. Whatever. Just one more song, Life on Mars, which I only learned to sing properly all the way through last month. It's a small affair to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mommy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go, but her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks to her sunken dream, to the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a saddening bore, for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools as they ask her to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the love man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know. He's in the best-selling show. Is the Life on Mars. Now, I'm being too expressive. I need to be deadpan with white makeup and pink lips and hair, not just a funny mustache. It's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow. Now the workers have struck for fame, 'cause Lennon's on sale again. See the mice in their million hordes, from Ibiza to the Norfolk Broads. Ruby Tanya is out of bounds, to my mother, my dog, and clowns. But the film is a saddening bore, 'cause I wrote it 10 times or more. It's about to be written again, as I ask you to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the law man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, Wonder if you'll ever know. He's in the best-selling show. Is the life of ours. Yeah. 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 So, I've made it through an hour plus of singing, more or less, or talking, hardly giving myself too much of a break, hardly giving you a break. If you made it to the end of this video, bless you. If you sneezed during this video, bless you. If you liked what you saw, then I wouldn't recommend commenting, liking, or subscribing, or any of that stuff, because this is a YouTube channel of very, very irregularly posted content and stuff that is likely to get copy struck because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm hopefully just don't get my channel entirely canceled. You know what I mean. Hopefully it also doesn't keep me from managing the many, many other channels that I manage. Find the University of Regina Choirs channel. Like, comment, subscribe over there. That's where I want you to pay attention.